assembling the haunted pop-up. So I've already put the panel pieces on my base, and I'm going to put these together. You're going to fold this all the way down to the top of the space, and then fold this next little score line up. Fold this, whoops, fold this piece down. Do the same thing here to the bottom part of it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this 1/4 inch gap, the space here, we're going to glue these down to the inside of the card. So I'm going to put glue on this 1/4 inch, glue this down. This is going to help our card to stay open when you are holding it, when it's open, so it doesn't just squeeze shut. Okay, so I've done this to all 4 pieces here. So now you can see here, I've got this 1/4 inch space here on both sides that I have glued down. Okay, so now I'm going to set this aside and let that dry. I have already put together a couple of my windows, a few of them. I'm going to do one. You just have, I have the inside of my house glowing yellow. You could do any color you wanted. So you just glue these together. You have 3 little ghosts, and they are these 2 pieces. Put these little guys together. Okay, so there's our ghosts. We have a little pumpkin here. There we are. Your roof has these cuts in it, and what I did was I just took my stylus and I just curled these up a little to make the roof look a little more ragged, to give it a more spooky look. And I did that to each roof line. They each have these little cuts in them. So I've done that. Now let's see, I do have these pieces out. So your fence for the front, you have this piece and then you have these. Now if I've designed it so that just the web is the black part, but if you want the whole fence to be whatever color you cut this in, just put this on the front. I think I'm going to ink my concrete posts here a little bit. And so I would apply the glue to this piece so that you get it only where it needs to be. And just do one side at a time. Sorry, I've got a fly flying right into my face. Okay, so there we go. And my web broke a little bit here, but that kind of adds to the look of the haunted house, I think. So I just left it. I'm reaching here under my mat. I've got some pieces drying. So because these pieces are so tall, a lot of them are tall, I went ahead and doubled all of these. I doubled my trees so that they'll be sturdy enough to stand up tall, okay? And I doubled this because it's the tallest piece here, and I doubled this one as the center. So this bigger roof goes on this, but so does this fencing here, the long fencing. I would put it on first. And I'm just going to apply the glue on this piece. It's kind of hard to hold because it's a little bit floppy. Just around the edges. I'm not going to glue down the roof tiles that I've bent up. And I'm going to go right across the top part of the center one. Just like that. Okay. Then I'm going to place this here just as guidance because these windows I want to put right like that. Okay. So that's the center, and that's all that goes on that one. And bring this over, and again I'm going to put the iron fencing on first. And then the roof. Don't glue down your shingles that you've just spent time rolling up. Oh, don't put this one on just yet. Sorry, this one goes on first. It needs to be under the roof there. This is your little porch. The nice thing about this is it will probably help for the look if things go on a little bit crooked. Okay, so there's that so far. We have a little door. There we are. I think that this window should have gone on before this roof. So I'm just gonna pull that up a little so I can slide it underneath. So this lip on this just sets right in there, just like that, so that that fits, okay? I think one of my kids let a mosquito in, and that's what's bothering me here. Okay, so I'm gonna just slide this right. Right in there, okay. Roll those up just a little bit. I don't know if I want to put that window on. I want to see it as a whole before I decide. Okay. My little pumpkin I'm going to put here at my fence post. There we go. So that's done. I'm gonna use some black ink here on my trees. This is a really old ink pad, so it doesn't have a whole lot of ink on it. That's why I'm able to just use it directly on my piece. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to pull this in and take a look at how these pieces are going to go. So when it goes together, it'll glue like this. And the trees go into this piece where the slots are offset. And then this part is right here on the fold, so that's the center. And then this piece. And then our gate. Okay. So that is where the pieces are going to go. Let me set these aside. I'm going to put my ghosts on after it's together so I can put them in where I can see them the best. So what you're going to do, you'll notice here that these pieces are facing up, these are facing down. Okay. And you always want to start at the back and work forward. And I'm going to fold my piece back and I'm going to glue it to this other flap, just like the one on the top here. I'm going to glue it to the bottom of this flap. Okay, so I am gluing this down to this bottom flap. Right here you can see that it's glued on this piece. I'm going to slide in my next tree. It'll go in. And what I did so that I don't have too much bulk is I cut off the tab on the piece that I glued on top, because I didn't want too much bulk here where these are gluing down. Okay, there is that. Now I'm going to slide these pieces out in order. I'm going to take this out so I can fold the tab. Slide it back in. You want to make sure it's not hanging over either side. And again, we're gluing it down to this flap right here. We're going to glue it right onto this flap. So you can see when I push this flap up, that piece is moving up and down. And so far the top's not going up with it, and that's the way it's supposed to work right now. I'm going to slide this next piece in. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold my flap back and glue it here to the bottom. Hold it for a few seconds to make sure it's sticking. Now I've got that piece glued onto this flap. And now this piece. This is our center, and this is what lifts the top and the bottom of the card. Okay, so it so what we're going to do is we're going to glue these two tabs just to this center piece. So I'm making sure to only get glue on the center piece. And you glue the top and bottom tab to this piece. Hold that for a few seconds. Now, when I push up on this, both the top and the bottom move up and down because this is glued in place. So this is the mechanism of the card that opens and closes it. So to finish it off, you're going to fold this bottom tab up. You're going to leave the top tab down. And we're going to glue these to each other face to face, okay? Just the tabs. So I am only going to put glue here on these tabs. And I'm going to glue them to each other, face to face. And you got some bulk in here because of all your layers. So you just got to take a second, line it up, take a look at it, make sure you've got your top and bottom tabs glued together and that all your pieces inside are stuck down where they're supposed to be. And then we can close it up. Pop her open. And there is our haunted house. And I think I'm going to put a ghost maybe right there. And I think over here, and maybe by the pumpkin. I pushed the bottom out, that's why it's kind of closing on me. Okay, and there it is. There is our haunted house pop-up card. I don't think I'm going to put this window on. That's where it would go. Thank you for joining me.